Buildings aren't haunted, they're forgotten. That's worse. That was Jonah Cross's absolute golden rule. For years, he cleared out dead, rotting buildings right before the wrecking ball swung. He's the guy who ignores the creaking floorboards, the strange shadows, and that intense, creeping feeling of being watched. But what exactly happens when a building hasn't forgotten you?
This 7th returned to Blackridge, a case file breakdown. So, let's dive right into this explainer. We're unpacking a truly terrifying descent into a supernatural anomaly that's literally masquerading as an abandoned hospital. We're not just scanning cold data today, we are stepping straight into a living nightmare, following this intense story exactly as it unfolded for Jonah.
To really understand this, we have to start with Jonah himself. His world is grounded, routine, strictly blue-collar. 9 long years of walking through the empty husks of dead architecture, just making sure no one is squatting inside before the demolition charges blow. He relies on pure logic. He doesn't buy into ghosts or urban legends. And you know, that makes him the absolute perfect target for when the impossible violently crashes into his reality.
Part 1. The Routine Sweep.
Jonah is sent out to Blackridge, this abandoned children's hospital, on a miserable rainy evening. The parking lot is basically a sheet of black glass. But the second he walks up, something is totally off. The front doors are open, exactly 6 inches, perfectly, unnervingly symmetrical. And when he steps inside, there's a massive sensory shift. He's expecting 40 years of rot and dust, right? Instead, he's hit with the sharp, freezing scent of fresh antiseptic. The reception area looks untouched. There's a line of empty wheelchairs against the wall, but they're all facing the entrance, like they're waiting for him. He shines his flashlight down the main hall, and every single clock is stopped dead at 8:43. This building isn't dead at all, it's just holding its breath.
He pushes forward up to the 3rd floor, which used to be the pediatric wing. It's a mess of burned curtains and charred beds, but right in the middle of the hallway sits a teddy bear, and it's completely clean, untouched by 4 decades of decay. Jonah walks past it, trying to brush it off, and the bear just falls over. Then it starts to roll, not with gravity, but completely against it, moving slow and deliberate across the tile, all the way down the hall until it bumps into the door of room 314 and pushes it open with a soft sigh.
Jonah steps inside room 314 and finds a melted cabinet, a cracked window, and walls that completely defy logic. The drywall is covered in thousands of frantic tally marks, scratched so deeply with bare fingernails that the plaster has turned to powder. And right in the center, carved with this absolute terrifying violence, is a warning: don't let them count you.
Part 2. The 1982 Evacuation Lie.
Suddenly, a massive slam from below shakes the dust from the ceiling. The heavy fire doors weld themselves shut. Jonah is trapped. As the supernatural grip of this place tightens, we need to look back at the dark foundation of Blackridge. See, the official record swears there was a full evacuation during a massive fire back in 1982. 0 casualties. But the unofficial logs, they tell a completely different, sinister story. The night log claims there were 17 children on that pediatric ward. The admission log only lists 12. The authorities couldn't even keep their lies straight while covering up the disorganized, horrific tragedy that actually went down on this floor.
Out of nowhere, Jonah's cell phone rings, an unknown number. When he answers, an old man's voice frantically warns him not to respond when the hospital calls his name. And then, the whispers start echoing through the halls. It's the voice of his dead mother, his brother, his own voice. Panicking, Jonah breaks into a sprint for the emergency stairwell, throwing his entire weight against the heavy door. But there's no way down. The stairs only climb upward into total blackness, and the painted floor numbers are entirely impossible. Floor 12, then 18, then 51, 88. The physical geometry of Blackridge is morphing and stretching way beyond reality.
The nightmare just accelerates from here. Every single door in the hallway swings open all at once, revealing the silhouettes of children standing in the dark, their backs turned to him. The emergency lights flicker and die. Tiny, soaking wet footprints start appearing on the dry tile, slowly circling around Jonah's boots. The temperature drops 20 degrees in a heartbeat, and then he shines his light up. The solid concrete ceiling is covered in small handprints, but they are pressing out from inside the architecture. Dozens of trapped kids pushing from above the drywall until a skin-stretched face physically pushes through the solid stone, looking down at him with a smile.
Part 3. The Descent and Deception.
The hallway lights completely explode, plunging him into silence. A dripping wet girl appears for a split second with a message that freezes his blood. "You forgot us again." The hospital isn't just haunting him anymore, it is actively hunting him. Jonah sprints blindly to find an exit, but the stairwell is completely gone, replaced by a rusted elevator leading to a basement that city records show was filled in during the 90s. He dives inside. Sitting in the corner of the elevator is a wheelchair, completely draped in a surgical sheet. Slowly, a pale hand slips out from under the fabric. It reaches over and taps the metal armrest. Knock, knock, knock. The elevator doors slam shut and Jonah plummets downward, past B1, B9, B27, finally violently halting at an impossible sublevel, B44, buried deep, deep within the earth.
The doors grind open into a blood-red nightmare. Empty hospital beds are rolling down the hall by themselves. IV poles glide silently across the floor. And standing at the far end of this underground corridor is a line of doctors. They're wearing long, dirty coats and surgical masks that are stained pitch black. In perfect, terrifying unison, they all turn to look at him. The doctor in the center slowly raises a clipboard. Written on it, in bold, frantic letters, are 3 chilling words. Patient finally returned.
Part 4. The Memory Reset Luke.
Jonah turns and runs, hunted through this labyrinth of impossible, twisting corridors, until he trips and falls backward right through a doorway. He looks up. It's the door to room 314. But the burned hospital room is completely gone. He's sitting in a pristine, fluorescent-lit office, and his entire reality is about to shatter. The walls of this office are absolutely covered in hundreds of missing persons flyers, kids, nurses, local cops. And pinned right in the center of the corkboard is a Polaroid of Jonah taken as he walked into Blackridge just an hour ago. Stamped aggressively over his face in red ink are the words, "Memory Reset Successful." He tears open the desk drawer and finds his own medical file. Jonah was never a building inspector. He was an 8-year-old patient in this very hospital back in 1982.
Suddenly, a woman steps out of the shadows of the office. It's his sister, Lily. But she hasn't aged a day since the 80s. She's wearing a heavy dark coat, and she breaks down the terrifying truth of this place. The hospital didn't trap the kids. The city built Blackridge directly over top of something ancient and hungry. This anomaly, it isn't a ghost, it's a doorway. A sentient, physical frame of absolute blackness where it's always raining upward. It doesn't lead to another dimension. It's a living anomaly of absence, and it learns to perfectly copy whatever it drags inside.
Back during the fire in 1982, 8-year-old Jonah found that doorway, and to save Lily from being pulled in, he opened it himself. He made a trade. The entity let Lily go, but it kept him. The thing is, this entity doesn't actually know how to just keep a human being, so it creates perfect, living copies of him, wipes their memories completely clean, and pushes them out into the real world. Our Jonah, the guy we've been following, he is just the 7th copy. For 41 agonizing years, the real original Jonah has been standing in the dark, physically holding the doorway shut from the inside. Meanwhile, his copies live out these fake, mundane lives until their manufactured memories begin to decay, ultimately drawing them right back here to Blackridge to be reset.
Part 5. The Final Sacrifice.
The walls of the hospital begin to roar and shake as Lily leads Jonah down to a hidden concrete chamber at the very core of the building. And there it is, the doorway. Stepping slowly out of that black, upward falling rain is a cosmic entity. It's far too tall, it's wearing Jonah's own face, and its empty, dead eyes are just learning how to focus on him. Lily turns to our Jonah, the 7th copy, and gives him an absolutely impossible ultimatum. If he steps back into the blackness, giving himself to the entity to take his real counterpart's place, the resets finally stop. The cycle ends forever. But if he turns around and runs, the entity will simply consume him, spawn an 8th copy, wipe its memory, and send it out to live another fake life. The nightmare loop continues. Blackridge isn't a trap for him. It's a quarantine, designed to protect the rest of the world from what the original Jonah has had to become.
The rain inside that doorway starts calling Jonah's name, perfectly mimicking his sister's voice. And without a second of hesitation, he steps forward, walking straight into the pitch black, sacrificing his fake life to keep the real world safe. So, as we wrap up this explainer, the crucial takeaway, the real horror of this story, leaves us with a deeply unsettling question. If you uncovered the ultimate truth today and found out that your entire life, your precious memories, your very identity were just a copy designed specifically to hold back the dark, would you have the courage to step back in?